mean, I function better.
Because
I can live on 6 hours, and many of them, at least they claim, almost inedible.
Yes.
I really was cardboard.
Well, things are changing in London, actually.
Well, I think from an American perspective, we're somewhat critical and suspicious of that ambition. We would prefer, certainly in the Trump administration, to work with countries bilaterally. I think that the question in Europe, of course, is one that is of a democratic nature, so people in Europe would make that determination. Clearly, the United States is not a member state of the European Union, so it doesn't have a direct influence. It's very indirect. How deep a sleep you go into, how deep is your dream pattern. President Trump believes that dealing bilaterally with different European countries is more in the U.S. interest, that we could have a stronger relationship with countries individually. The EU itself has a degree of protectionism, so that's a question, of course, that's been raised before, whether it's the common agricultural policy or some other issue revolving around Microsoft or non-tariff barriers. The other thing about the EU that I think is more and more problematic is its blatant anti-Americanism. I've been there a couple of games. It's really
well, the games they play are huge. Like
they sell out. Yeah, they played one game last. He believes a more positive relationship with Russia is possible, and that's alarming to some people, including some friends in the EU or in other governments in Europe. But my question is, if we could have some form of détente with Russia, and they have now started having telephone conversations between Putin and Trump, and I suspect there will be a summit, in near order. If we could have such an agreement over the course of the next 2, 3, 4 years, and we could solve some of the major issues in the world, not just to do with nuclear armament, which is still very serious, but with ISIS, combating terrorism, solving the Syrian civil war and the refugee crisis, potentially coming to grips with what's happened in the Ukraine, Crimea, and probably giving more confidence to the people in the Baltic states. I mean, all of these things just objectively would be good. Of course, how do you get from here to there? That's the question. The world that has time zones still, so.
True. Yes, it's always midday somewhere.
Well, the rest of the world shouldn't be worried if America is strong again, that America is the sheriff of the world again, that America economy is growing, in a clip that it hasn't grown, frankly, for the last decade. The rest of the world actually benefits from a strong America. I guess there are some elements in its long past that are, anti-Semitic or that have colorations certainly that I wouldn't subscribe to. Whether that makes them fascistic or not, I think it is probably a long shot. But like the ocean, about a third of our life we sleep. Yeah, but there are different rules.
Yeah.
It's actually a wider field too.
But I mean.